What you see in this world is not what actually is. What you think about yourself is not who you actually are. What choices you think you freely make aren't exactly free. Life is strange, but most people never really take time to think about it. Most people are happy to go about their lives without questioning those big questions. Though, like everyone, it nags at them just as it nags at us. As we search for answers, or accept that we may never know, searching for miracles, and yet not seeing the true miracles that are right in front of us. For you exist as you are right now. It's not just that your mother and father had to find each other in whatever state or country they found each other in. It's not just that they had to be intimate on just the right night at the right time. It's that every solitary action since the very beginning of the universe had to come together just as it did for you to exist at all. Way past your grandparents, your great-grandparents, past your ancestors for whom you will never know, past hominids that began to walk on two legs and master fire, past the very formation of the earth, past the formation of the galaxy, to the very beginning of the universe itself, to that first potential quantum fluctuation that set everything in motion, or that God, whatever you want to believe. Every solitary movement of atoms, every star formation, every planet and galaxy that formed was all part of the cosmic dance that eventually led to every person in your lineage. Each and every one of them, for hundreds of thousands of years, had to survive long enough to procreate, had to find the exact person they found in their tribes or in other tribes, or in cities and towns, countries and continents. They had to migrate and move through different lands, coupling after coupling after coupling, until you arrived into the world. Take a moment to think of the breadth of that creation, and then understand that if we took the entire history of the universe and put it into a single calendar year, the creation of planet Earth some 4.5 billion years ago would occur in September. And human beings began walking this earth about a few hours before midnight on December 31st. And as the clock ticks away, as life comes and goes, as men and women create children who become men and women who create children, a great deal of that existence that isn't about surviving has been about asking one simple question. Why are we here? Who am I in the grand scheme of the universe? Some of us spend our entire lives pondering it. Others latch on to the first ideas that make sense to them and give them meaning. Most just try to ignore it. Why complicate an otherwise complicated life? But if you're watching this, then you're wondering, and you're looking for meaning. You want to know why we're here, why there's something instead of nothing, and what the hell is the purpose for all this pain, these challenges and difficulties that seem to just keep piling up and up and up. It seems so difficult for us to understand why we suffer so much, never realizing that that is part of the entire joke of it all. But in order to understand that, we have to do something that truly makes us uncomfortable. That is, that we have to let go of the idea that the world is what we think it is, that we live in an objective reality. No, if we want to understand the cosmic joke that life is, we have to escape the very nature of connection to our bodies, to our sense of self, to the idea that we are these human people living in a world of organic and inorganic material, because that is just the surface of the truth. We are so much more than just what we see. And then when you realize that, realizing the depth of who you truly are and what you truly are to the universe, that you are not some piece of the universe that will eventually age and die, that you are not something that came from the universe separate and unique of it, but that you are the universe, just as a wave is still the ocean. And when you understand this, you can understand we suffer not what happens to us, but our thoughts about what is happening. It is in the very desire for life to not be the way it is, for our lives to be different from what they are, that the world itself truly begins to become unbearable and difficult. The more we cannot accept life for the insane and miraculous creation that it is, the more we will inevitably suffer life for all the twists and turns that happen to us along the way. It is only in the acceptance of life in the universe, in falling in love with the universe, that we then can see life for the cosmic joke that it is. But that is harder than it sounds, and it's not your fault. Our brains create reality around us and create the idea that we are these individual people living individual lives. It creates the idea that the world around us is an objective reality that looks and functions in a certain way, making us believe that everything is far more serious than it truly is. It is in holding on to and attaching ourselves to our sense of self, not understanding that this idea and creation we've manifested over the years is nothing more than the chattery bewilderment of some fatty tissue that lives inside our head, trying as it must to give meaning and purpose to everything around us, in hopes that by doing so, it can better the survival and reproduction of this form, and continue the pattern of life. During split-brain experiments on people that had their corpus callosum severed, we discovered that if you told the right side of the brain to do something, the person would do it. And then if you asked the person why they were doing it, the left side of the brain would create an entire explanation for it, one completely void of the reason they were doing what they were doing. Naturally, the communication between both hemispheres is there, but not always the strongest. But when people meditate, it increases the thickness and connection of the corpus callosum, allowing both sides of the brain to actively talk with each other more. And what do we see from monks, from master meditators? This calm and peace and absolute lack of attachment to the world around them. In fMRI scans, their brains respond to stimuli in a completely different way. Their very perception of the world is altered by this connection, seeing no separation between them and anything else in the world. The truth of our existence is one that our minds are capable of perceiving. The reason for our existence can be as clear and simple as the very point that we are here, because we are here. We exist to have human experiences on this earth, not to run from them, not to judge them, not to suffer them, to experience them, and to move to the next experience. There will be thousands of tragedies and horrors that you can think of that will make you want to challenge this idea. And yet, when you come to the point of seeing reality for what reality truly is, those points will melt away. Those horrors will be understood. It will not stop you from helping others. It will not stop you from being a source of peace in others' pains. It will stop you from suffering and thinking that this world needs to be anything different from what it is. It will let you fall in love with the universe and with every experience in life. When you realize the cosmic joke of it all, you will be able to laugh. You will be able to laugh your way through the insane ride that is eternity. Hey, wait 1 second. I've got something big to share with you. Thanks for watching that video. If you made it this far, you hopefully enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed it, we put out one at least every other day. Hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notifications at the bottom of the video. And keep an eye out for the next video. Also, I'm building a community of people who want to transform their lives over a year. It's called the Cosmic Joke Challenge. If you want to find out what the Cosmic Joke Challenge is, you'll learn that and more in our 100% free Facebook group, which will be growing a library of content not available on YouTube. The link will be available in the description box below. Click it, join, and start transforming your life today.